morning! You'll have noticed from the little bit of intro B-roll that we are in GlenFinnan, a location that is shot by many, explored by many, and yeah. So it's going to be difficult to get something different, but I've got a couple of ideas. Whether they work out before the rain gets here, that's a different matter. Because coming down the lock is some rain clouds. Oh yes. Yes, there is, my absolute favourite. But the lock looks lovely. We're almost at sunrise. We've seen our first little hints of colour. And yeah, we can't really complain. We're in the beautiful Scotland. And it looks quite nice. It looks quite nice, it does. So my first composition is not really about the mountains, but it's about the colour. So fingers crossed, I'm going to be able to get a nice vertical portrait shot of the colour in them clouds. There is a little bit of interest. I've got a nice building in the foreground off to one side, and helping balance it out, I've got another building off to the right. And I've also got a mountain in the middle of the valley. So fingers crossed, with a nice bit of colour and then buildings, this is going to be quite a nice shot. It is not exactly what I came here for, but I do like the look of that colour. Okay, so I've got the shot all lined up now, and I'm not sure on the balance of the image. It might be way off. But I've got the cloud just coming round this way, up above, like this, house, buildings, mountain. The mountain's off to one side, but so are the clouds, and I'm hoping that that helps balance the scene out and make it not look so wonky. So the first shot, I'm going to capture that cloud just now, and that looks absolutely amazing. There's almost like a storm cloud feeling to it. And then I'm going to raise the exposure, and I'm going to grab the town. Now this shot is not about them buildings and that mountain, but I don't want too much noise in the shadows, and that's why I've gone for that multiple exposure. Fingers crossed it looks quite nice. Now I want some colour in that valley top, in the mountain tops. I've got one more shot in mind for this location though, and it's kind of getting washed out as we speak, but I'm going to try and get it because it was the first thing I saw on the way down, and if I didn't get it I'd be really sad. Over to the left of the lock I've got this really interesting shape coming round, and then a few trees underneath, and I think playing with the shadows cast by them mountains and the reflections in the water, I think I can create something quite nice. So it's going to be a bit dark, it's going to be a bit dramatic, it may even go black and white because of the lack of colour, but I think it's still going to look quite nice. So I'm going to shoot this on ISO 31 f11. The first shot is for the drama in the sky, and that's going to be shot on 1/3 of a second. I'm just going to fire that off now. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise that exposure and then get that light on the top of that mountain, so your eye's drawn into that point. Okay, and now I'm just going to get a little bit of information in them trees on the side of that lock. I think that's going to make a lot of difference. I don't want them to be complete and utter shadows. Okay, and I'm really liking what that's done with the water. Beautiful. And there's the 3 shots. Put them together, fingers crossed they work out. It's something a little bit different. I've not seen it shot before, and I really like the way the reflections were on the water and were mirrored in real life up there. I think it works. Right, I reckon the viewpoint. just noticed one more thing. I don't know if it's ever been shot before, but it was right next to my bag. So I'm going to give it a try before that rain comes. Sorry if that's a bit skew. No, I think that's pretty good actually. And yeah, I think it's going to be another black and white shot. But you see these things, you capture them, okay? Don't just think about having to get the big main picture, and because you've got the main picture, your Instagram ready, have a little experiment. See what's around. See if you can find interesting shapes in the lock bank. Now, if I had had a beautiful sunrise right on one side of that lock and perfect reflections, this scene here, this shot would have been absolutely amazing. But even with the dark, dramatic conditions, I think it's still pretty good. Right, anyway, onwards and upwards. There's a little reason to why Pauline is so tired, and that is yesterday we climbed 3 Munros, but annoyingly only 2 of them were on the scratchy map, but all 3 of them were above 1,000 meters, so there must be Munros, have to be. It was epic though, and I'm not going to try and say the names, but I will list them up here, because my pronunciation is not good. It's not strong. It's no strong, Paul. Not strong at all. But yeah, not a bad view, I don't think. It is a view that has been shot many times in way better conditions though. I think that's what I'm going to rely on now. Foreground interest, because the sky's pretty white and boring. It was so beautiful this morning as well. So dramatic. Anything could have happened. Anyway, enough Harry Potter. But I think I found something quite nice. I've got this line of rock coming down this way. A little bit of heather up on top looking nice and green. It's a shame the lines are not going down the rock this way. There is some cracks over on that rock over there which might work quite nicely, but I've gone with this one. I've gone with this one, and it overlooks the loch nicely. The line of rock points down onto these trees, onto them trees, onto the footpath, onto the monument, and I've got the island and that hillside, and I think I'm gonna make it quite left side heavy. I'm going to try not to involve too much of the right hand side. I don't think that adds to the scene as much as the left does. So I'm going to have him almost leading in to that left hand side, because I believe from up here you can see that's the way he's looking. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be quite nice. Something unusual that might not have been captured before. But I was thinking about going over to the viaduct and shooting there. But I think I'm going to save that for a more snowier conditions. I think right now it wouldn't do it justice. So the weather is definitely worsening. The conditions are a bit bleak, to be nice. I have got it focused to infinity, so fingers crossed the rocks down here on this side are going to be in there, you know, you're going to be able to see them. I'm going to underexpose quite heavily because the mountains out to the background are really quite bright because of all the rain coming down. So to be able to get them with a little bit of drama, I've really had to underexpose it. So I've gone for 1/3 of a second, f11, ISO 31. I'm going to fire that off. I have got some cars coming through the scene at the moment, but they're not playing a big part of it because that top section that I've just photographed is not going to be really in there. This is going to be compiled of 2 different images, one for the very distance and one for the immediate foreground. I don't think I'm going to need anything more than that. I'm just going to fire that off. This is 1.6 per second. Hopefully I've not moved the ground at all. Just going to check to see if that's nice and focused. That looks absolutely perfect. This will not be the first time I come to GlenFinnan, or the last. The conditions have definitely worsened. I think I'm still going to put this vlog out, and I hope I've captured something slightly different to what is normally captured here. Because that's the aim of the game as a photographer. It's not just to come and capture what's already done before. It's to come and capture your imagination, your scene, and how you picture it. But we will be back. We will be back for sure. I am going to finish the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed that final image. And thank you to Pauline for doing some filming. Looking very warm. Have a lovely week. Peace out, peeps.
I did it better.